Alright, so I figured I'd do an end-of-season Alliance rank video, just kind of recapping a few different categories and then ending with the best war alliances in the world this past season. But we're going to start with the leaderboard in-game, just to kind of highlight the most glaring insult to everybody that plays war, and that is Nath or Naon. Because of matchmaking manipulation, they were able to get fourth, almost sneaked into that top three. But all right, we're going to start with attack efficiency. This is simply how many times your alliance dies. The 10th best, PBT, 92 deaths this season. That's an average of under 8. Number 9 was Legion, 91, and of course an average of just a little less than PBT. Then we have SSX, only 77 deaths this season, 6.4 average, very strong season. Number 7 is XK9. These guys shell. We'll talk about that in another video, but 73 KOs, a little over 8 per war. I accidentally skipped a slide here, but TCN and Noon, 71 and 68 KOs between 5.6 and 5.9. DSVG, the 4th best, 62 KOs for an average just over 5. And then there was my alliance, LVT. We only had 45 KOs for an average of under 4 per war. And then, of course, the 2 best alliances, indisputably, GT40 and Salty, really neck and neck in KOs, 29 and 31 throughout the entire season. So you guys can see a clear tier. Alright, so deference rating is something that I don't typically shine a light on, but it is part of the algorithm. And that is basically the number of kills that you get above your opponent's average on the season. So, for Loki, they were the 9th best. They had 119 actual kills versus 113 expected. They were 6% above average, or above expected, I should say. HC Mags, 167 to 150. That's 11% above expected. DSVG, that's a 17% above expected. And a lot of factors go into this, obviously. There's GT40, also 17% above expected. You guys can see that their expected was very, very low because they faced stiffer competition. SSX had a very strong defense this season, 20% above their opponent's average is what they ended up getting. TCN, they're always a top defense because of the whale nature of the alliance, but 21% above expected. I was surprised to see this, but not really surprised. We work really hard on a defense. 29% above expected for LVT, and then Noon, 30% above expected, and Salty, unbelievably, 80% above expected. They really just dominated this season. So, all right, strength of schedule, we've got PYCB. It's the cumulative strength of schedule throughout their entire season based on their opponent's war ratings coming into the war. So 116.5 SOS, and then Legion, that's an average of 10.46 strength of schedule per war. So it's basically kind of the average power of their opponents that they faced. XK9, I was very surprised with that because they did start the season at a lower war rating from shelling, but they ended up facing stiff competition midway through. SSX, 12.14 average. JA actually kind of had a tough season, but they did finish 8-4, and they had a pretty hard schedule. Then we've got TCN, 160 cumulative strength of schedule, and then we've got Salty, 14.05 average, and then third was LVT. I actually thought that we were going to be first because we were the only alliance to face Salty and GT twice, but we come in third at basically 169, and then we've got Noon with the second hardest schedule, 175 cumulative SOS, and then GT had the hardest schedule, and they finished 10-2. Their only losses to Noon and to Salty. Okay, war rating, this is the big one. This is basically how good was your alliance according to this algorithm. The 10th best alliance in the world this season, Legion, 9th best, JA. DSVG was number 8. Number 7, XK9. Hate to see him up here, but it is what it is. This is what the sheet says. I have no input on this. SSX, good to see them up there. I like that. TCN, that's where they finished the last time I did these ratings in Season 41. Noon, I'm sure that they're disappointed to see that, if they care at all, that they weren't higher, but LVT finished third on this sheet because of the efficiency. So the war points, you guys can see, were actually very, very close with noon. They did have a slightly harder strength of schedule, and they had one more win, but they had 23 more deaths on the season, and this sheet really prioritizes attack efficiency. And then, of course, Salty heading above everybody else, and then GT was the second best. So anyway, that's it. Super, super brief. You guys can pause, take screenshots if you want, but I just wanted to kind of fly through this stuff. I'm not sure that I'll be able to do scoreboard updates because the person that runs the sheet or collects all the data to provide this information does want to ask people to pay a season pass basically for the information. And were I to post this information after every war, that of course would render his operation not effective if somebody wanted to find my video for the information for free. So anyway, I'm going to respect what he wants to do. That's totally fine. He did give me access for free so that I could do a video like this at the end of the season. So probably moving forward, I'll just do this. And if he decides to drop the paywall, then I'll do, war by war scoreboard video. So, okay, that's it. There is a link in the description if you guys want to see all of the information. If you don't believe me, if you think that I'm flubbing numbers, you guys can go see all of the work in the spreadsheet. It's locked, but it's, of course, totally visible. You guys can see kind of how everything works. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and a comment, and I'll catch you guys in another video.